morning, guys. It's a beautiful morning, as you can see. It's nice and cool and breezy, a little bit humid because we had a little bit of rain this morning, and we're about to have a storm come in tonight. It's going to get down to 42 degrees, but I've kind of learned that my annuals are going to be okay. I think they'll be good. So I'll be planting more today. Everyone say hi to Piper. Hi, Piper. Anyway, she's always out here with me. She's my little sidekick. I'm excited. I'm going to be planting some in ground in a few beds close by each other. So let me turn the camera around and I'll show you what I have. So in this little bed here by our back porch with our hot tub here, and then last time we planted up this cute little container, and we also planted up these little containers, and they're doing really good. Everything looks pretty happy. So much color in here, so I'm super excited about that. And the other one here, I am gonna water these real quick this morning though, but after I water, I'm going to be planting up this bed right here. So in here we had a beautiful display. I think they were the Alibi Triumph tulips with these gorgeous pale yellow pansies and just a pop of a few white ones and some blue muscari, and it looked really, really beautiful. I loved those tulips. I love that they started out a dark pink and they faded to the softest light pink. I'll put a video in here, but it was my favorite thing. I got two different kinds of interest in the spring, a darker pink and then the lighter pink, and the lighter pink looks so pretty with these light pale yellow pansies as well. So anyway, we're moving past spring. I am going to keep these tulips in here though as long as I can. Here in Utah they naturalize pretty well actually, especially if they're in a well-drained kind of sunny area, and they can keep going for years. So I'll try not to disturb them. I need to keep the foliage up just so they can get energy for next year through these leaves. I did come in and cut off the stems right when they were done blooming, just so they wouldn't put any energy into those seeds. So those have been cut off. They're still out here nice and green, and when they start to turn kind of brown and purpley and die back, that's when you can kind of cut them back. But these are pretty low and not too wild, so I don't think they're going to bug me. And they have this nice cool toned look, which I'm actually going for this year for my summer bed here. I thought about keeping these pansies and transplanting them out on the creek, but I don't think I'm going to. I'm just going to pull them. I got 2 seasons out of them. I planted them in the fall, was able to enjoy them then, as well as a lot of the majority of winter. We enjoyed them this spring, and now it's just time to switch it out. So this is what I'm going for here, a really cool toned look. In the very middle in between these bushes, I'm going to put 2. I don't quite have enough. I think I might try to go pick a few more up if I can find some, but I love this salvia so much. This is the annual salvia. This is the Sally Fun Deep Ocean, and there's lots of different ones. It just depends on where you buy it and what nursery grows them or sells them, and so this is just the one that I picked up. I have these salvia, super excited about them, and then I have this Dusty Miller that I'm going to pop in just a few spots just to bring more of that cool toned, and I also have some of the new look Dusty Miller that I'm going to use just a few of as well to add there. And then I decided to go with the Super Tunia Mini Vista White, and the reason I went with this one as opposed to the Snowdrift, the Super Tunia Vista Snowdrift, is because these stay a little bit more compact. They don't spread quite as big and take over an area quite as much, and whereas this area is not super huge, I might throw in a couple snowdrifts because I have a few extra, and there are a few bigger spots like right here where I might plant one and maybe one over there on that side, but I don't want these to get really huge and just take over these boxwoods and everything, and so I went with the Mini Vista, and they just have tons of blooms, and I've never grown these before, so I'm really excited about it. So let's see how big they get. Yeah, they're short. They're like 6 to 12 inches tall, and you space them 12 to 18 inches apart. So more petite, which I like. I didn't want it to just overwhelm this area. And as I'm looking at it, I love my boxwoods like this. I like them shaped. In the years past, I have trimmed them really tight, but I decided I like them shaped, but a little bit fuzzy. But they're a little extra fuzzy right now. They've had a lot of new growth, and I think this would be a good time to trim those back, especially since I'm going to come in with some new mulch. So I'm going to take on that chore too. So this is going to take a little bit. That's what's going to go there. So I'm going to do this area, and then if we have time, I'm going to do the little bed up on top above my knockout roses here. We'll see, that might be another day, but we'll see how far we get with all this work. And I'm excited we're getting more annuals in the ground. I'm really excited about this. And I think this kind of simple look's gonna look really pretty with this more colorful container here, and then these more colorful containers there. And I think that'll be nice just to have something more simple. Okay, so let's get started with all this. I did not realize how many white pansies there were in here. So I have loved them so much down by my creek, so I'm actually going to transplant these down there really quickly. It's going to cost me probably about a half an hour, but I'm going to do it. I'm just going to go dig some holes down there, get it ready, and then plop these in. So yeah, let's do that. Alright, that didn't take too long, and we'll see how they do. I've only ever planted pansies in the fall, and then they've kind of lingered. I've never really transferred them, especially when temperatures are going to get hot. We're going to be cool tonight, but then it's going to get up into the 80s the rest of the week. But I already did come down here and plant some other annuals. I did some surefire white begonias. I really wanted to try them and see how they did in this area. So I have those sprinkled throughout here, about 10, and they get really big. And then I added some more of these. Look how pretty they look, just trickled in here. I added some more up a little higher, and the water isn't like super consistent on all parts of this, so some probably might not survive, but I think for the most part they'll do pretty good. Time will tell. But yeah, I even added some up here, some up there, just to add a little bit more interest. And I love that with just the purple and then this white. So pretty. See, these are older remnants from fall 2023. And so are these, and then I added just a few in around it. And there's some more surefire white begonias. Okay, let's get back up to our other spot. And voila. I actually started doing it, and I kind of have to relearn my method and what's best. So I saved one bush to show you guys what I do. I'm definitely not super great at it. It's hard for me not to have it flat on the top. So I'm trying better to not have it be that way. So anyway, I'll just show you what I do. And there is like an optimal time to trim these back. The high in the 70s and lows in the 50s. But I'm just gonna do it now because I need to. So it might not be the ideal time. It might get a little burn from the sun, but it's when I'm doing it. So let me set the camera up and I'll kind of talk you through what I do if you're interested. And hopefully you can hear me. This little storm is blowing in, which has made this chore quite pleasant, but it might start raining, so we'll see. Okay, so I like to start off using these Felcos because I think they cut a lot of surface area, and I just kind of shape it and go down the sides. So I'm trying not to do too much off the top because I'm trying to make it a little higher on the top. And then I'll angle it even more and get underneath. And then I'll come with my hand shears and just really shape it and make it all even. These aren't the best. They're a little old and rusty, but that's what I have. I'm going to use them until they're dead. Then I'll get me some nice ones. Make sure I get all the ones underneath. little easier to see down here. And I like these angled ones, so you can turn it whatever angle you want. Just makes it easier. Oh, that looks pretty good. Okay, let's get this cleaned up and then lay out the flowers. It's starting to sprinkle a little bit, and I need a few more mini vistas. So I'm actually gonna run to the garden center because it's right nearby and just get a couple. And this storm should pass. Yeah, I just think it's gonna be a small storm. And what are you doing? Okay, come on. Come on. Let's go inside. Come on. Come on. Okay, I'm back. So the ones I got are a little bit small. I hope they'll be okay tonight. I really worry about it. I think they'll be totally fine. So I'm gonna plant those. I got about 5 more. Since they only get about 12 inches, I do want to see some dirt in between these. I don't want it just to be cram-packed with flowers. So I do think this is a good mix. And then I'm trying to be careful of not having them be right by the sprinklers. So I just kind of plopped them alternating a little bit here. And then all the salvias are in the center, and I'll separate them probably about 8 inches. There's quite a bit of space between this one, so I put 3. Those will get pretty big though, I think. And then, yeah, looks pretty good. And then when I'm done with that, I'll come and tuck in some Dusty Miller in some places. But I think that'll be perfect. Look at these cute flowers. Oh my gosh. I love the pure white. So pretty. Okay, let's get going. Okay, I got those all in, and then I walked through and placed the Dusty Miller. I didn't film that, but I'm gonna put just some in different areas. This is the regular. This gets like 10 inches tall, about 10 to 12. So I'm just gonna plop this in a few different places. This is the new look Dusty Miller. See how they're a little different? A little more mint colored, and then these are more smoothed edge leaves. Love this one. So I'm gonna put this here. So I've kind of just alternated those in places. So here I have the regular Dusty Miller, new look. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bring this over here. Something needs to be here, right here. That'll be good. And then I'm gonna take this Dusty Miller that's here, just because I think this will get covered up. And I'll put it over here where this other one was, about right there. Okay, I probably won't film this, but I'm gonna plant those in the ground, then we'll take a closer look. Okay, I got it all done. The mulch in, watered in, everything's cleaned and rinsed off. And that mulch just makes everything just pop. I had to be a little careful around these. In fact, I probably would need to double check and make sure they're still happy under there because they're kind of small, but I think this mulch will protect them tonight too. And they'll be just fine in a little colder temperatures. But that's gonna be so pretty. I've been planning this little spot for months. And so I think it was in January where I decided to do the white and the purple. And I'm so happy about it. This Back to the Fuchsia Salvia will be done blooming, and then this will kind of be the star of the show. There's no other color in this except for this. And like I mentioned before, I think that will be great because these will be really colorful. That's pretty colorful, and the pink's gonna look really good with that purple. So cute. And then let me show you. Let's look at these up close. Oh, I love this blue purple color. So I have the Dusty Miller in there. You can see it a little better now. So I've got some here. This is the new look. And then you'll have the Dusty Miller, some in here. I did kind of tuck it in between the tulips, and those will die back, but hi Pepper. And yeah, everything looks good. Just making sure these are all cleaned up for the storm tonight. And this one, don't want them smothered. Some more Dusty Miller in the corner. I put a new look Dusty Miller here. And then in the back here, you can see the Dusty Miller. And I think the tulip color looks cute with it right now too, so it's not gonna be bothering me too much. So cute, I love it. And let's take one more look at this. I love this pink. So cute. I potted this up a couple videos ago, and it's just so happy. Can't wait till it's all filled in. Yeah, looks good. That will look so cute with that purple. And then here's the view from back here. It's gonna be so pretty. Love it. Okay, thanks so much for joining me. That was quite the ordeal with moving the pansies, trimming the boxwoods, getting things planted, and laying down the mulch. It just took a bit, but I think that's all I have time for today. Thanks for watching me polish my garden, and I hope you have a chance to polish your garden too. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.